Good morning everyone. So this is week 13 and we are going to start with our lab class for week 13. Now in week 13 we are going to configure a virtual LAN. How to configure a virtual LAN? We have already discussed and studied about virtual LAN. In theory, virtual LAN is basically used for splitting up the LAN to provide the flexibility. So how we can create the virtual LAN by using the packet tracer? We have an exercise over here, so I will go step by step according to this exercise, and eventually explaining you how to create a virtual LAN. So here what we are doing, we are creating a topology. This is the topology. We have a switch, we have 4 computers, then at the end the switch is attached to the router, right? So let's first of all we will go point by point. Now we have to configure a LAN having 4 computers and 1 switch. I will not rename the systems as computer 2 because you can rename the computers by yourself. Connect the first 2 computers into the port number 2 and 3, and last 2 computers port number 4 and 5. So let's start with this. Okay, now in this the switch, what type of switch you have to use? If you see over here in the figure, we are using here 2950 switch. Alright, so let's start with this. First of all, I'll place a switch over here. This is switch, this is switch, and let me just go, it's 2950. So we are using this switch 295024. This one 295024. So if I go over here, let me just make it a bigger, just increasing the zoom level. Okay, so 295024, we are going to use the same switch. So this is 295024. I have used it over here. Then I will place 4 systems here. Okay, 1, 2 and 2 on the other side, 2, 3 and 4. Right now let me go back over here. We have placed 4 computers. Now the first 2 computers we will attach to the switch in port number 2 and 3. Port number 1 we will not use it now, not now. Port number 1 will be used to connect with the router. So we will start using from port number 2 and 3. Alright, let's start cabling. I will use the copper straight through cable. So from here fast Ethernet 0, and here port number 2, same thing over here. From here fast Ethernet 0, and port number 3, same thing here, fast Ethernet 0, port number 4. Okay, then same like this. I can adjust it. So if I want, I can adjust it also, and if I want to, I can move it like this. Alright, so it has been done. If you want to rename the system, just go over here, display name, comp1. So this way you can change the display name for all the systems. Alright, so point number 3, 4 done. Now it's time to assign the IP addresses. So for the first 2 systems, computer 2 and computer 3, we are going to assign the IP address 192.168.10.2 and 10.3, and the default gateway address 10.1. So let's go over here. Let me just make it like this. Okay, I just move it. Okay, let me just move it to this side, because I will just, so that you can see over here also what we are doing. Okay, so this first computer, the default gateway address is 192.168.10.1. then we need to set the IP address. I'll go to IP configuration, 192.168.10.2. subnet mask. Okay, done. Same thing I will do with this. Let me just make it as the numbers, computer 2, Okay, let me just change their display names also so that it's not confusing. Computer 2, comp 2, this is comp 3, and what is the name of other systems? It's comp 4 and comp 5. Okay, so let me just change the names. Comp 4, and this one is comp 5. Done. Alright, so we have changed the IP address of the first system. We have assigned, sorry. Now for the second system we are going to assign. The gateway will remain the same, which is 192.168.10.1. Then we go to the assigning the IP address. I can assign the default gateway here also. 192.168.10.3. So it's done. Okay, let's check the connectivity between these two systems, whether it is connected or not. I'll go to this system and I'll ping the other system. Okay, so ping 192.168.10.3. it's pinging. That means they are connected. You can use the simulation mode also to check the connectivity by using the PDU. Alright, next we configure the IP addresses of the last two computers, computer 4 and computer 5. So these are the IP addresses and this is the default gateway. So their IP addresses are 192.168.20 and 2, 20 and 3, and 20 and 1 is the default gateway address. So I'll go to the comp 4. Default gateway addresses 192.168.20.1 and IP addresses 192.168.20.2. So done with the default gateway also. Okay, last system. So same thing I am going to do, 192.168.20.1 and IP configuration 192.168.20.3. So done. Now let's check the connectivity between these two systems. I'm on the comp 5 and I will try to ping the comp 4, which has the IP address ping 192.168.20.2. so they are connected. Now let me try to ping the comp 2 and comp 3. They will not be reachable. Let's try ping because they have a different gateway addresses. So 192.168.10.3. let me try to ping this. It will not be reachable. So if you see, its request timed out. It's not reachable. Why it is not reachable? I will explain you the reason now. Because both of them, if you see, they have the different gateway addresses. One is 192.168.21, another is 10.1. So they are on the different doors. They cannot reach each other. So we will do something so that we can reach them. Alright, so we have done until point number 8 now. Until here we are done now. Okay, you can assign the IP addresses which I have already explained in the last lab. You can do it. Now here comes how to assign a LAN. Now we have to break this LAN into two virtual LANs. One is CS virtual LAN and another one is EE virtual LAN. It can be electronics engineering. Now how to assign the virtual LAN. Now let's first of all how to do it. We will go to the switch database and we will add the CS with the number 10 and we will also add EE electronics engineering or whatever and the number 20. Now we are not going to use number 1 because it is reserved for the default VLAN. We can use any number except the number 1. Alright, so I go over here, I go to the switch. Now when I go to the switch, I go to config. I have a VLAN database and I go over here, I assign the number 10. It is for CS. Let me just give it the name CS. Add it. If you see, it has been added over here. Then I give the number 20 and I give the number EE. So add it. So now it has been added to the database of the switch, right? So now we have to map the ports used in connecting the computers into the appropriate VLANs. So port 1 will be used as trunk because we are going to use it with the router. We can configure any other port as a trunking port, but port 1 we are going to use it as a trunking port. Now how to do it? How to map the port? Now if you see, the computer 1 is attached to the switch on its port number, on its port fast Ethernet 02. Computer 2 is attached to the computer 3 is attached on fast Ethernet 03. Then similarly computer 4 in fast Ethernet 04, and similarly computer 5 in fast Ethernet 05. 01 is used for we will use it for attaching it with the router. So the one port number we will use it as a trunk port number, but others we will use it as a access port number. So how are we going to do it? I'll go to the switch. There are all the interfaces over here. So 01 I will use it to attach it with the router, so I'm not going to configure this port. I will go over here 02, right? 02, now 0 from here I will make it access, not trunk. And now 02, if you see over here, this system, okay, this is a CS virtual LAN. Let me just make it over here. This is a CS VLAN and this is a EE VLAN. Now in the CS VLAN, the computer systems, the computers, they are computer 2 and computer 3, they are attached on the port number Ethernet 2 and Ethernet 3, and their IP addresses are 192.168.10.2 and 10.3. Alright, so going over here to the switch database. Now what I am going to do over here, if you see this port status, just check it is on, it will be on. Now if you see over here, there is VLAN and this is a selection box. If you go over here, now you have to map it to the virtual LAN that we created. I am doing it for the fast Ethernet 02, which holds my computer number 2. So it belongs to the virtual LAN 10, which is CS. I will just select it, then click anywhere and then close it. Similarly, I will do for the computer 3 also. Sorry, I'll go to the switch. I'll go to 03 here. Then from here access and port number on, from here 10. Then I'll go for fast Ethernet 04 access, and here I'll select 20 because this side systems, they belong to the EE virtual LAN. So I will choose EE, done. Then 05 also, port number is on, and I will go here, choose EE. Now if you see port number 6, we have not assigned anything, 7, 8, we are not going to choose it. So part B has been done. We have mapped the ports in connecting the computers into the appropriate virtual LANs. Port 1 will be used into the trunk because we are going to use it with the router, right? So now what we are going to do, we are going to add 2811 router and we will connect it to the port 1 of the switch, and then I will change the port 1 of the switch into the trunk. Alright, I'll go here, I'll attach a router 2811. So if you see over here, these are the network devices, router and 2811. This is the router 2811. I put it over here and then I attach it with the cable. So from 01 port number, and I will use 00 port number. So it has been attached. Alright, so not yet up. Now what we have to do, first of all I will go to the switch. I'll go to the switch, fast Ethernet 01, it's a trunk. So it's a trunk. This is what I have to do. Now I have to point number 10, switch on the router's interface connected. So we have connected the router to the switch on port number 1. Now add the two virtual LANs into the routers database. So we will add these two virtual LANs into the routers database. I'll go to the router, click on the router, config. You see here virtual LAN database. I will add over here 10 and CS, and similarly I will add over here 20 EE. Now it has been added to the routers database. Alright, now we have to do the command line, we have to use some commands to configure the gateway interfaces and for the virtual LAN. Now how to do it? These are the commands given to you over here. So I'll go to the routers command line interface here, command line interface, right? So first of all I will exit from here, from the virtual LAN, exit. Let me just increase the size, exit. Then I will type here enable configure terminal. You can use config T also. You can use config T also instead of writing complete configure terminal. Now we have two interface, only one interface, 0 and on 00 we will configure fast Ethernet 00. For the router we will have two virtual LANs. So interface fast Ethernet 00, no shutdown, so that it works. Then I will now, this is a command to encapsulate or to assign a virtual LAN to the routers interface. So what I will do, I will write here interface fast Ethernet 0, on the fast Ethernet interface 00 interface we are using .1. So this is the command to assign to configure the virtual LAN database on saying that it's a first virtual LAN database. Alright, it is changed to up. Then I will type, I have to write over here this command now, encapsulation.iq10. This is the command for configuring the virtual LAN database number 10. If you see config sub if, it has been changed to the config sub if. So encapsulation, wait, my spellings are wrong I guess, encapsulation dot 1q, then followed by the number for the virtual LAN. I have two numbers for the virtual LAN, one is number 10, another one is number 20. Number 10 is assigned for computer science, number 20 is assigned for EE. So I will write here 10. Then I have to write the IP address for this virtual LAN, the default gateway address. IP address 192.168.10.1 followed by the subnet mask. Done. Next is exit. I will exit out of this. Similarly, I have to configure the second interface of the router. Now, if you see, this first interface is for this side. We have configured that this is a virtual LAN number 1. Now, this interface is the same, 00. We used .1. That means that's a you can say it virtual LAN number 1. If you see over here, it has been set and it is up over here. Now similarly, I will use fast Ethernet 00.2, specifying that this is a virtual LAN number 2, and I will repeat the same commands with a difference in the IP addresses and in the number of the number that we have given for the virtual LAN. So what will I write over here? Let me just go to this one. Okay, so let's start. I don't have to use the enable or configure terminal because I am already here. So I will just use interface fast Ethernet. We are configuring everything on fast interface 00 fast Ethernet 00.2. Dot 2 means it's a second virtual LAN. So it's changed to up now. Next is we are going to use the encapsulation dot 1Q followed by the virtual LAN number, that is 20. Next is IP address for the virtual LAN number, the default gateway address, which is 192.168.20.1 and subnet mask .255.0. Done. So if you don't get any error, you are done. Click on exit. So I am done with this. I am done with the topology. Now let's come over here to the topology. Now let's try to check whether our LAN is working or not. You can now check the connectivity between the two virtual LANs. Okay, I will try to check it over here. Let me try to ping comp3 from comp4 because this site computers were already connected. So let me try to now ping computer 4. From computer 4 I'll try to ping computer 3. So ping 192.168.10.3, that is the IP address. Let's check. It's okay, it's done. Let me try it again. Ping 192.168.10.3. it's done. Okay, computer 2, ping 192.168.10.2. it's okay. Let me try to ping the router. Ping 192.168.20.1. so router is available, right? Similarly I can go over here from computer 2 to computer 3. From computer 2 I may try to ping computer 4, maybe. Ping 192.168.20.3. so it's okay, it's pinging. Ping 192.168.20.2. so it's okay. All the connectivity is okay. You can try to ping with the PDU unit also. See here, if I this is for the scenarios, you can do it and just try to ping from here. Add a simple PDU, for example computer 5 to computer 3. If you see, it's successful over here in the bottom. Similarly I can try to ping from computer 4 to computer 2. it is successful. Similarly I can try to ping from computer 3 to the router. it is successful. If you see, computer 3 to the router, computer 4 to the router, it's successful. And to the switch, it was already pinging. Switch has no power, it will not do with the switch. Okay, computer 4 to computer 5, it's doing. Alright, so this way you can try to check the you can use the PDUs also to check it. Now if you see, it shows the different scenarios also, and after doing this you can delete it. So this way you can see it. Now where it appears on the bottom right hand side, this small arrow. From here you can bring it over here. So alright, now if you see, we have done with this lab activity, and at the bottom there are 2 video links for this exercise are given. You can watch these links on the YouTube, and if you have any questions, you can ask your questions in the lab class. So thank you so much.